Hi there, I'm Professor Blackmore and welcome back to my channel. Now today, I want to get right into this recent, and yes, I'm saying recent because it won't be the last, but this recent issue between Kanye and Kim Kardashian, the long road to a final divorce, because it's never a quick transaction when you have kids and high dollar assets. Now, as you know, there was a recent kerfuffle with Kanye and the paparazzi involving some sort of tussle with one of his cousins that spun off into a tussle with a paparazzi or someone who was also trying to get an autograph in the midst of the confusing situation. So when it blew up into a mini breaking news scandal, Kanye wanted to sit down and do a Hollywood Unlocked interview with Jason Lee. And I watched the entire interview, but the entire 45-minute interview is really only about 1 to 2 minutes of information regarding difficulties that Kanye is having in his divorce and custody proceedings with Kim Kardashian. Let's take a look.
And that's where I call my cousins. And my cousins is real opinionated, you know that. So I had my cousins had 2 directives. I said, I want you to go and talk to Kim because I don't want to talk to her and get into an argument.
The cousins that were in the video that we saw today.
My cousins, Abby and Becky. It's 2 things I said. Tell her security not finna be in between me and my kids. And also tell her don't have my daughter wearing lipstick on TikTok or don't have her on TikTok at all if I'm not approve that. And I said it after it was done without me knowing. And then it happened again. So I feel like it's some poking the bear trying to antagonize me or create this like crazy narrative. Because to say someone is crazy, they're trying to take the power away.
So as you can see, this entire 45-minute interview is all about a disagreement in parenting style and or parenting decisions about Kanye and Kim's daughter North's activity on social media, more specifically TikTok. Now, I've seen many episodes of Keeping Up with the Kardashians, but don't judge me. Anyway, and this is not the first time that I've heard Kanye West express his disagreement with the child being involved in the social media scene. So this is a disagreement that the parents could not resolve, apparently, in their marriage. And this is an area of law that we lovingly call in the business family law. Now, I cannot tell you how many divorces I've done in my career. And I hate to be the bearer of bad news to Kim and Kanye, but a judge is not going to decide whether the child can be on social media or not. It will always all come down to what the parties will or will not agree to. And once the parties agree, the judge will adjudicate that agreement and incorporate it into an order signed by the judge. But it will be a product of the parties' agreement. So they're going to have to learn how to do what they couldn't do inside of the marriage and act like people who have some damn sense. So from Kim Kardashian's perspective, she's pushing back at Kanye, claiming that this is an attempt on his part to be controlling. And since the kerfuffle with Kanye West's cousin and the paparazzi, he still cannot get this issue off his mind, and he's reaching out for divorce advice on what to do about this issue. Let's take a look.
So we got to start with Kanye West because I honestly, I think this is the most relatable issue that we've seen with Kanye and Kim. That this applies to so many people who are getting divorced.
But not even getting divorced. Married couples are still going through it. Like,
Yeah.
I know tons of what do you do with your kids on social media at such a young age?
Absolutely. So, but I do think the divorce is really critical here.
Yeah.
So Kanye posted, he posted this over the, actually overnight. He said, and I love this. We're going to unpack it. Since this is my first divorce, I need to know what I should do about my daughter being put on TikTok against my will. So what happened was Kim posted a TikTok video of her and North lip syncing a song. And
A Ray Sherman's song.
A Ray Sherman song.
They have an account together,
Yeah.
Kim and North.
Yeah.
So Kanye is pissed off, clearly.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And he doesn't want his daughter on TikTok. She's 8 years old. And you're right. I mean, this applies to married people, but I think it really applies to divorced people when they're trying to go through it and figure out co-parenting. And it's very clear they are having major issues.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, because okay, so Kanye West definitely threw shade in this post to Kim Kardashian because he said my first divorce. She has been divorced
Right.
3 times now, so he just had to add that
Yeah.
into her.
But she's never been divorced with children.
With kids, I know. So I'm
Yeah.
like, but he wanted to make that point, and he made it very clear that he wanted to do it. But I'm also like, would Kanye care this much if they weren't getting divorced out of Kim in?
What we don't know is what did Kanye say to Kim beforehand?
Yes, has it
And
already
then-
been discussed, and
and
then
wh-
she did it still
And why
knowing.
would she do it still?
Yes.
And I think that's kind of what underlies it. But again, this is
This
Yeah.
doesn't. I don't think the way he went about it helps the issue. Obviously, Kim and
well,
Kanye are having issues.
everything is done on social media
Yeah.
with
Yeah, but everybody doesn't have millions and millions of followers like Kanye West does.
But do you think he said
Oh, I'm not
besides...
saying it's right. I'm
Right.
just saying it's the
It's
way
what he
people
does.
live
Yeah.
these
I
days.
know.
But do you
know.
think since he said against my will that they've had the discussion before? Because this isn't North's first TikTok. She's been on it
Right.
before, so this wouldn't be the first time that this has
If
been
this was
brought
like
up.
if this was his last ditch effort to get something done, he says, I have to go public, then I get it. But if he hasn't talked to Kim about it, then
What?
Yeah.
I don't think this is he's not gonna make much headway here, I don't think.
What they may end up doing is having a judge decide exactly what the ground rules are for social media.
And they could do that.
Because if the parents can't and they're fighting
So a
over it,
judge could actually say, North, you cannot be on
a
TikTok.
judge could say in the custody order, if they can't agree
Wow.
on it, the judge could say the only way they could go on TikTok is if X happens.
So I disagree slightly with TMZ's Harvey Levin. This will not, in my opinion, be decided by a judge. Okay, so when the parties go into court and file for divorce, they can have what are called temporary orders that determine custody and other fine details about what happens with the parties' assets, custody, and visitation issues regarding the day-to-day TikTok, no pun intended, issues regarding the children. And the standard is always going to be based on what is called the best interest of the children standard. But it's going to come largely from an agreement amongst the parties, i.e. the parents. And so even if they set a temporary orders hearing, they'll sit there all day until they can come to an agreement on the issue that's causing the problem. And then the judge will incorporate their agreement into a temporary order, ordering the parties to abide by their own agreement. And that agreement is going to detail the terms, and the judge will just sign off on it, and it will become an order of the court, which may or may not be incorporated into the party's final divorce decree. So when it comes down to it, it'll be better if Kanye and Kim can decide now that they need to learn how to communicate with one another. And the best thing to do is to come into each conversation by focusing in their mind on a picture of their children. And they want to forget about these digs that they're doing on both sides. And so Kanye can't be doing digs on how many times in the past that Kim has been married. And Kim, on the other hand, can't be doing digs about how many failed politicians she has in her family, or about how crazy and controlling Kanye is, because those are going to be known non-starters for both of them. What they both need to realize is that it is not going to be all the way how either of them want a certain situation to be. It's always going to end up somewhere in the middle. And they might as well realize now that that is the way that it's going to be before going into each issue of difficulty. And so, Kanye, if you want me to walk you through this, call your girl. And what do you think? Do you think these two would be better off learning how to communicate as parents? Or do you think a judge will have any luck deciding whether their children can go on social media? Please leave your comments in the comment section of this video. And in the meantime, I'm Professor Blackmore, and if you've enjoyed this video, please give me a big thumbs up. And please also subscribe to my YouTube channel and click the bell so you'll be notified the next time I post my next Kanye video, the next time they have their next pre-final divorce dust up. And please also follow me on TikTok and Instagram.